The last part is around connect and sell. This is kind of my second point around how we were able to increase productivity without increasing headcount. Have you guys heard of Connect and Sell in the room? Okay. So they're represented here, really good group of folks, very talented backgrounds. The entrepreneurs at the top actually have had a good run in other companies before. So we run a bunch of experiments. Okay, we probably run about 25 experiments a year within our sales team, just always looking for new ways to get better and better. And we're currently running 6 of them right now. One of the ones we're doing is we're actually running a cold calling experiment. It's a swear word at HubSpot, but we're doing. I had to fight tooth and nail to get it approved. The reason why we're doing it is we do believe in our inbound funnel. I mentioned earlier that our inbound marketing funnel produces about 20,000 leads a month. We grow that number by about 10% a month. So this coming month we'll have about 22,000 leads coming in, and I hire 10% more salespeople. So I add 4 or 5 salespeople each month, and that's how our business model grows. Now that's great, but I'm constricted on how fast I can grow based on the number of leads we produce each month. And wouldn't it be great if I can have a cold calling function that is profitable as well? I can grow 2 or 3 times as fast. So that's what we're really looking at and testing right now is what do the economics on that cold calling channel come in at? And it will be a trade-off between profitability and market share capture. That's what we're looking at. And Connect and Sell has really helped us with this. So the experiment we devised in May is we have a BDR, an appointment setter, and we dedicated their time to this experiment. That person spent about 160 hours cold calling, and they spent about 15 hours using Connect and Sell. And for those of you who don't know what Connect and Sell does, you basically feed in a list of a few hundred words, and you rent an hour of their time. They have a whole bunch of people offshore that are calling like crazy, and they guarantee, you'll usually get like 5 to 10 connects in that hour. It's a really powerful tool. So we tested that, and these were the results that we had. So you can see here that on the left-hand side is the metric we were looking at. The middle here was the results of the Connect and Sell hours, and the right-hand side was the results of our BDR without Connect and Sell. So you can see here that the cost per opportunity that BDR was able to set was about the same. It was actually slightly cheaper through the Connect and Sell. This one evaluated his time plus the hourly rate of Connect and Sell. This one was just his time. Okay? The big metric here was how long did it take to actually get to an opportunity. So just the way we're doing this right now, it takes our BDR a full day, an 8-hour day, to get a good opportunity for our sales team. Using Connect and Sell, it took an hour. That was huge. Right? And then, of course, we closely measured how those opportunities funneled through the rest of the sales funnel, and the close rate was very similar, and the time to close was very similar. I didn't put the exact numbers in there, but just because the data is kind of low. You're talking about, I think a dozen or so, or half a dozen. I think it's a dozen or so opportunities. I will tell you that the actual data showed the Connect and Sell was actually better, but I didn't want to put the data because I don't think it's statistically relevant yet. So that was nice. Now I'm preparing my pitch in July on maybe changing our plans, and instead of hiring 5 more BDRs, maybe we'll triple down on our Connect and Sell hours with the same BDR and get to the same result faster. The last piece I'll make Gerhard here is just a couple learnings. The ROI on that spend in May was about 5.8x. I think we got about 4 or 5 customers out of that investment, which just in terms of annual revenue was well worth it. We're finding some interesting data. We definitely like to use leads that you feed into Connect and Sell are leads that you've already called before. There's 2 reasons behind that. One, if there are any incorrect phone numbers, you don't waste that time. The salesperson can actually clean it up. And 2, that person has maybe heard a voicemail from somebody, so when you do get a connect, at least it's a little bit warmer. And the final point is we're starting to analyze which times of the day and which times of the hour are best. Still not a lot of data yet, but for some reason we found 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern time doing really well on sort of the East Coast leads. Not sure why. People are bored in the afternoon and coming back to their desk and answering the phone. We've also found, and this has actually become pretty statistically relevant, on the top of the hour, close to the top of the hours, is performing quite well. And I'm not sure if people are between meetings and checking voicemail and email and they're at their desk, but that's doing well as well. So that's what I have for data. I think I'm going to turn it to Brian from here.
Thank you.